Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for In the Garage with Bodie Stroud. So wipe those hands, put down those tools, and pull your garage stool up to the bench and join us for an hour in the garage. Brought to you by Steel Rubber Products.
And teach me tonight. The sky's a blackboard high above you.
Welcome back here.
And if a shooting star goes by,
Weekend edition with the one and only Larry and Nancy Manetti. It's the Manetti Show, and that's the good sound of Dennis Bono here as we had he as our guest this week. And we had Dennis just before the break there. Now, we were talking a little bit about you're a kid, you get thrown out doing impressions when you're in kindergarten and first grade, and now you move on. You got your own radio show, obviously a great singing career. Someone told me, and follow the story along here, but you got introduced to Frank Sinatra some way, didn't you?
Well, you know, what transpired, I'd been on the road sort of learning my craft. This is after I got out of the Army and went back to college for a while, and then I said, singing is in my blood.
So when did you decide that you were going to really go with singing? Was it at that particular point after college and everything?
Yeah, you know what happened? It was because I had always done it as a weekend thing, just in order to supplement. I was studying to be an English teacher, believe it or not. And then all of a sudden I got a call from an agent, and he said, well, would you like to go on the road? And the next thing I went on the road, and it became a career,
Wow.
To make a long story short. And so, I think I worked every small town and major city, and going out on the road, it gives you the opportunity to really fine-tune your craft and learn what works, what doesn't work, and I probably learned more about me as a performer and about my love for the Great American Songbook during that period of time. So what happened was, to make a long story short, I cut a CD, and I decided that I'd been tired. I was tired of the road, so I went back east, back to Connecticut, and became the entertainment director for Sonesta Hotels. And I got this phone call one day in the office because, being the entertainment director still allowed me to sing on weekends at the hotel. So I figured, well, I could come off the road, still work, and my CD at that time was getting airplay on a station in Los Angeles, a very popular station in those days called KMPC.
Oh, big station in Los Angeles, yeah.
And so apparently Jilly and Tonio and Sinatra heard it, and I'm in my office one day, and I get this call. It's Jilly. Secretary says, "Is a Mr. Julie Rizzo on the phone?" And I'm saying, "Who is this really?" I'm figuring it's one of my friends pulling my leg because I certainly knew who Jilly was. If you knew anything about Sinatra, then you certainly knew who Jilly was. So bottom line is that it was Jilly, and he says, "I want to meet you in New York." And so I met him at the Doral Hotel in New York City about 3 days later. And he said, "We loved your CD. Would you want to come out west?" And I was kind of overwhelmed, but certainly it was like a dream come true, So I think that afternoon, they actually took me to Warner Brothers. Jilly actually walked me into Warner Brothers that afternoon. I think within a week, I was at Sammy Kahn's house, sitting next to him at the piano, and having him, try to tell me the importance of a lyric. And, it just kind of, things fell into place. And ultimately, of course, I met Mr. S. And they put me to work with Don Rickles, and I was working in Atlantic City and Vegas. And I to be honest with you, I didn't want to, I met all the Damon Runyon characters out there, and I had a ball. It was a great experience. But I didn't want to really settle in Los Angeles, so I moved to Las Vegas. And that's how we ended up out here, and it's just been.
It's a great story.
It's a terrific story, and it's probably worthy of a few chapters in a book rather than just do it at 500 words or less.
So your songs, like your CDs, where can we get those? Where can we find those?
Well, I think there's DVDs and CDs. You can. My website, of course, is www.dennisbono.com. You can order music, and of course, it's got the fan page and all the things that go with everybody that's so hip when it comes to websites and computers. And I also have another website for the show. It's the Dennis Bono Show at yahoo.com. So there's two different websites. One I think also links to the other. So
all right, so
you can order music, and it's it's a whole different business now than it used to be.
Well, you can say at DennisBono.com, DENNIS. There's your Dennis BONO. There's your Bono.com.
Right.
And then for the radio show, what is it again?
It's the Dennis Bono Show at Yahoo.com.
Hey, he lives next door to Stephen Eady.
As a matter of fact, Steve and I are going, and Edie and my wife Lorraine, we're going out to dinner tonight.
Tell them we love them. And
I
say
will.
hello.
You going to Bootleggers?
No, as a matter of fact, we're going around the corner. The Bootlegger's a little bit further away, and we do have lunch or dinner there quite often. So,
Bon appetit.
Yeah.
Next time we come, we're going to Bootleggers.
Oh,
What's the
you'll have a
website there at Bootleggers?
I guess it's bootlegger.com. I never. I'm kind of computer illiterate. I've got to have my 8-year-old granddaughter come over. And I said to her one day, I said, "Geez, I don't even know how to program my VCR." And my 8-year-old granddaughter goes, "You have a VCR?"
There you go. That's good.
Hey, Dennis, we got to split. I love you. Thank you so much for being on the show. I look forward to seeing you in Vegas, and say hi to everybody.
I will, and thanks so much for having me, and say hi to everybody out there.
Okay.
Dennis Bono, everybody. Thank you, Dennis. We continue straight ahead. Going to find out about some movies. Got some phone calls, 800-336-2225. Email us, lmanetti@crni.net.